Happy New Year's Day. It's been less than a week. We're seeing some of the aftermath of Nick Shirley's bullshit, largely debunked Somali childcare fraud scandal in Minneapolis and Minnesota. And which, first and foremost, Nick Shirley is not a journalist. He is not a reporter. He is like a 23 or 24-year-old childless YouTuber who has a large following because he makes videos like this that cause dumb, gullible, easily manipulated Republican Trump supporters to feel outrage and be able to direct that outrage towards black and brown immigrants. And in the realm of MAGA media, if you can do that, you're going to be wildly successful and wealthy. Who gives a shit about the damage that you do to other people's lives? Now we are learning that Nick Shirley got his information about these daycare centers, their addresses, their locations, from Republicans in the Minnesota state legislature. Republican Speaker of the Minnesota House of Representatives, Lisa Demuth, has stated openly that she worked with Nick Shirley and provided him with a lot of the information that allowed him to go make his video. Other Minnesota State House Republicans have stated openly that they worked with and coordinated with Nick Shirley so that he could have the information that he needed to go make this video. And I saw another person make a TikTok about this. I did not bookmark her. I would give her credit. The Minnesota Republican Party in the state legislature has a Republican-run fraud prevention and oversight committee in the Minnesota State House of Representatives, that the membership of which is comprised entirely of Republicans in the Minnesota State House. They met publicly 14 times in 2025. They did not investigate childcare fraud or Somali childcare fraud, however you want to describe it. They did not investigate that during 2025. Instead, they met with and coordinated with and provided information to a 23-year-old childless YouTuber, a bro, who is not a reporter, who is not a journalist, who does not do reporting or journalism. And now the end result of all of that is that the Trump administration has halted all child care related payments from the federal government nationwide. That is going to completely fuck tens of millions of families, but it is entirely consistent with Project 2025's idea of forcing women back into the home and removing them from the workplace so that they can become stay-at-home moms and trad wives against their will because of this economic feudalistic punishment that is coming from Donald Trump and Russell Vought and the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025. Already got rid of abortion. Bodily autonomy is gone for women in roughly half the states in this country. Red states, you'll be surprised. Red states which benefited. Another interesting thing. If you look at a graph of from they take the most amount of money to they take the least amount of money from the Department of Education, it's 25 red states and then 25 blue states. And now we've done away with the Department of Education, which is going to do away with free breakfast programs, free lunch programs, before school programs, and after school programs. All of that funding is gone. And now we're doing away with all childcare, daycare payments nationwide and which they're trying to force women out of the workforce. And the basis for that decision the Trump administration made yesterday, the day before, to halt all child care payments nationwide is a debunked video from a 23-year-old childless YouTuber who is not a journalist, who is not a reporter, and who was fed this information intentionally by Republicans in the Minnesota State House, who did not investigate this fraud during their 14 meetings last year of their own Fraud Prevention and Oversight Committee, which is run by Republican Kristen Robbins, who is now running for governor of Minnesota. How is Tim Walz getting fucking his feet held to the fire over this when Kristen Robbins, another gubernatorial candidate, who actually runs a fraud prevention and oversight committee in the state of Minnesota that's supposed to be investigating this and didn't investigate it at all during their 14 public meetings that they held last year? And again, it's designed to denigrate and just tar and feather an entire community, the entirety of the Somali community in the state of Minnesota. Because 85 of the 90 people who have been convicted and sentenced to prison for these fraud schemes are of Somali descent. The woman who was the ringleader of the entire thing was a white woman. You know, you don't see Republicans screaming to deport every white woman from Minnesota. I mean, in the last video that I posted right before this one, I was like, these people who support Donald Trump, who support ICE, who go gangbusters on this kind of racist disinformation and misinformation, those people are still going to be here when Donald Trump is gone. They're still going to be here. We are still going to have to live inside the borders of the United States with these racist, bigoted, dumb, gullible assholes after Donald Trump leaves office. We're going to be stuck here with these inbred, fart-huffing, mouth-breathing dipshits who are dumb and gullible, loud, mean, easily manipulated, easily separated from their own money. They're still going to be here. Which reminds me, I should check in with some of my medical friends and try to get a timetable on when bird flu is supposed to make that final mutation for human-to-human transmission. As a reminder, it's an influenza bug. So many of the mitigation tactics that normal people employed during COVID, those will be close to or just as effective in preventing the spread of bird flu, such as social distancing and wearing a mask, cleaning, washing your hands, all of the things that following COVID, Trump supporters have vowed that they will never, ever, ever, ever do again. So, you know, I mean, I'm kidding, of course. No one would ever come on social media and say in 2026, I'm team bird flu. You know, that would be an awful, terrible thing to say. Anyway, I'm sure there's football on today, and, you know, still got leftovers. I still have the remaining Christmas cookies that I got from my friend Shahana, so I'm going to be eating Christmas cookies and watching football all day today. I hope everybody's New Year's starts off with a bang, and, you know, go bird flu. Have a great day, everybody.